Hey, welcome. In the next few minutes, we're going to crack the code on a really simple but honestly life-changing idea: how these tiny little actions you do every day can lead to absolutely massive results. So, let's get right into it.
Have you ever wondered about this? You start something new, a project, a workout plan, whatever, and you're so excited. You've got all this energy. But then, a week later, that fire is just gone. It is so frustrating, right? Well, the answer isn't what you probably think it is.
We love to think that success is all about raw talent, or maybe getting a lucky break or having this huge burst of motivation. But let's be real, those things, they come and go. They might give you a nice little head start, but they will not carry you over the finish line. So, what's the real secret?
Yep, that's it. Consistency. It's this quiet, invisible force of just showing up every single day, especially on the days you really don't feel like it. It's about doing the work when it's not fun, when you're tired, and when your brain is just begging you to put it off till tomorrow. This is what separates people.
Okay, so let's really break down why this is so incredibly powerful. The whole idea here is that a steady, repeated effort, no matter how small it feels, is infinitely more powerful than some huge, heroic effort that you just can't keep up.
Just look at this comparison. Who do you think is going to be in better shape after a month? The person who goes all out for 3 hours one time, or the person who just shows up for 30 minutes every single day? It's the same with learning, right? Reading 30 pages at once sounds great, but the person who reads just 5 pages consistently, they'll finish a 150-page book in a month. And over a year, that's 12 books. The small daily effort wins every time.
Okay, so consistency is the secret sauce. We get it. But how in the world do you actually build it if you're starting from zero? Well, this is where the magic of micro habits comes in. It's all about what we call the 1% rule.
A micro habit is exactly what it sounds like, a teeny tiny action. We're talking so small that it feels kind of silly. It's so small that your brain literally can't come up with a good excuse to skip it. We're not talking about go run a marathon. We're talking about just put on your running shoes. That's it. The whole point is to make starting ridiculously easy.
And this is where it gets really cool. Look at the ripple effect of that one tiny action. A micro habit of reading just 5 pages a day. It feels like nothing, but that simple little action leads to finishing an entire book every month. And a year later, bam, you soaked up the knowledge from 12 different books. And it all started with something that took you maybe 10 minutes a day.
This is the perfect way to think about it. Each individual action, right? Each little drop of water, it seems totally insignificant. It doesn't seem to make any dent at all. But over time, the combined effect of that small, persistent action has enough power to crack solid rock. That's your micro habit at one.
All right, let's put some numbers on this, because this is where it gets kind of mind-blowing. 1%. It sounds so small, doesn't it? You would barely even notice a 1% improvement from one day to the next. But what do you think happens after a whole year of those tiny little gains?
37 times. No, that's not a typo. If you get just 1% better at something each day for 1 year, you will end up 37 times better than where you started. This isn't just adding 1 plus 1. This is exponential growth. The small wins start stacking on top of each other and multiplying like crazy.
And just look at this chart. It really puts it into perspective, doesn't it? On day 1, your skill level is that tiny little bar. But after 365 days of those tiny improvements, it's not just a little bit higher. It's completely off the charts. This is exactly why focusing on daily progress is so much more powerful than just waiting for some big breakthrough.
So all of this points to a really, really important shift in how we think about progress. We're all taught to be obsessed with goals, but it's way more powerful to be obsessed with your systems. Think of it like this. A goal is your destination, but the system is the actual road that gets you there. Seriously, think about it. Every single athlete at the Olympics has the same goal: win the gold medal. The goal isn't what makes the difference. The real difference is their system. Who had the better training schedule? Who stuck to the diet? Who focused on those small daily improvements? That's who wins. The system is what actually produces the result, not just wishing for it.
And here's the real beauty of a good system. It gets rid of the need for willpower. You don't have to wake up every morning and have a debate with yourself. Should I work out today? Nope. The system already decided for you. It's just what you do at 7 a.m. That automation is what makes consistency eventually start to feel easy.
Okay, so we have our tiny habits, we have our system. What's missing?
Well, there's one final piece to this puzzle that really locks it all in place. You got to track your progress. This is how you stay motivated and make smart changes as you go.
This is such a core principle. If you aren't measuring your actions, you have no idea if you're actually making progress. You're basically just guessing, flying blind. But the second you start tracking, whether it's pages you read or minutes you exercise, you suddenly have clarity.
Tracking gives you that visual proof that your hard work is adding up. You know, seeing a long chain of check marks on a calendar, that's pure fuel for your motivation. You don't want to break the chain. And it's also like holding up a mirror. It shows you your patterns, when you're strong, when you struggle, so you can adjust your system. It's not about judging yourself, it's just about getting smarter.
I mean, just stop and think about this for a second. We live in a world where everything is tracked for us. Your phone counts your steps. Your banking app tracks every penny you spend. All this data is being collected about you. So why on earth wouldn't you apply that same simple idea to the things that actually matter most to you?
All right, let's wrap this up and put a bow on it. Building major results from tiny habits isn't some complicated mystery, but it does require a specific game plan. So let's just quickly recap the key principles we've talked about.
So here's the path, right? First, the big secret is just daily consistency. Forget about waiting for motivation. Second, start with a micro habit, something so tiny you can't say no. Third, obsess over your daily system, not the big goal way off in the distance. And finally, track your small wins to keep the fire going. You combine those and you've cracked the code. Look, the big takeaway here is that your future isn't defined by some huge, dramatic decision you'll make down the road. It's defined by the tiny choices you're making right now, today. So I want to leave you with just one question to think about. What is the one small, almost insignificant 1% improvement you can make before your head hits the pillow tonight?